The Trump campaign is in total and utter chaos. Remember not long ago when Donald Trump fired that outrageous campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, and replaced him with Paul Manafort? Remember when all sorts of connections between Paul Manafort and pro-Russian groups surfaced, including the New York Times allegation that $12.7 million in payments, potentially illegal payments, were in a handwritten ledger for Manafort and his organization? All of that was, of course, denied by the Trump campaign. And yet, Paul Manafort has now been effectively fired as Trump's campaign manager, although in name, he will remain the campaign chairperson to, I guess, make it seem like they're not in total and utter chaos. Paul Manafort is basically out as the effective manager of the campaign almost as quickly as he was in. He has been replaced. Sit down for this. He has been replaced by two people. Number one, this Republican strategist and pollster, Kellyanne Conway. Okay, I sort of understand that. She knows more about how Republicans can appeal to women, and she has some expertise there. Makes sense. Although she's been a pretty aggressive bomb thrower on CNN for the last 6 months. And Breitbart News CEO Steve Bannon. This is the same Breitbart News that parrots all sort of conspiracy theories, including all of the recent unfounded allegations about Hillary Clinton being very, very ill and on the verge of death, seemingly. He now is going to be the co-campaign manager for Donald Trump, along with Kellyanne Conway. This comes the day after we learned about numerous reports that serial sexual assault accusee, actually, no, I'm sorry. I want to speak clearly this evening. Serial sexual harassment accusee, note the word, the use of the word accusee, and former Fox News chief Roger Ailes is also advising Donald Trump. And as I mentioned, Paul Manafort is going to stay on as the campaign chairman, clearly just for PR purposes to make it seem like less of a shakeup than it really is. So think about it. Trump's campaign is now being advised and managed by a combination of Roger Ailes, a right-wing bomb thrower who is currently facing over 20 accusations of sexual harassment in his role at Fox News, and the guy who directs Breitbart News, a total right-wing bomb-throwing website that also regularly publishes unfounded conspiracies. The real question, Lewis, is not to figure out exactly how nuts these people are, but to think about what they can possibly do to the Trump campaign. One is put Trump on a teleprompter, right? We stop all press conferences and casual question-answer periods, put Trump on a teleprompter, limit his interviews, craft the message very, very specifically. Of course, we know Trump seems crazy when he reads from a teleprompter, might not be the best idea. The other possibility, and I mention this because Breitbart has been a key player in the Hillary is really sick conspiracy theories, like physically, health-wise sick. Maybe they can just frame the entire Trump campaign. It's never been about issues other than crazy stuff like ban Muslims. They could just make the entire campaign about, hey, Trump is healthy and Hillary isn't, and try to pivot to that. I'm thinking out loud here. I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, well, Trump's campaign is kind of a mess, kind of a disaster. So do they say, are these people who are thinking, we need to clean this up a bit. This needs to be cleaner, sleeker, less insane. Donald Trump needs to shut up and stop putting his foot in his mouth. Or are they going to go down the Breitbart route?
Yeah.
And, oh boy, if you thought it was ugly before.
A lot of people are saying now it's actually going to get ugly. Really?
Yeah.
What was it before? I mean, that's amazing. I can't wait for the finger pointing, right? I mean, so many people have been in and out. It's been like a revolving door in this abortive campaign that at this point, I would believe that divine, you know how we always say, it's so pompous to think that God, if he or she exists, gets involved in the politics in one election cycle, in one country, on one continent, on one planet, in one solar system, in one galaxy of this amazing universe that he or she created. I would actually believe it if somehow Trump is able to turn this around and put together what seems like a normal campaign. I would only believe that it were possible through divine intervention.
Well, I'd go the opposite with that. I would say that if it's possible for Donald Trump to become president, intelligent design is a farce, and we're really just incredibly dumb creatures that did come from fish and single-cell organisms.